know who else could probably testify to the freak-offs with Diddy?
Just wasn't a good relationship for me. It didn't have so much to do with him as it had to do with me at the time. I had to learn to care about myself a little bit more and put up certain boundaries of what I would accept and wouldn't accept.
All Jennifer Lopez had to do was marry a white boy, Oscar winner, for people to stop remembering that she had a gun in her pocketbook. She had gunshot residue on her hands the night that Natanya was shot.
He'll do something out of the blue saying, you know, I love you, I was thinking about you. What's that? Very thoughtful. What are you doing here? My heart is the ruler of all. My being, who I am, where I want to be, who I want to be with.
At that club, not once has she spoken up for the betterment of that woman or say something in her defense to stop Puffy from gaslighting her and trying to put hits out on her because he was afraid that maybe one day they would open the case and she still has the bullet fragments in her face. Like J-Lo has said nothing. You really thought that just running off and marrying Ben Affleck was going to take you out of the Diddy downfall?
On top of that, y'all, I dug up some footage from my Gene Dill interview. I know I haven't posted it yet, but I got the part where he is talking about J-Lo, and he said, listen, y'all can believe what y'all want about J-Lo. He contends that he actually saw the way her and Diddy get down, and J-Lo was the one literally putting that hair in a bun, putting some Vaseline on, taking her hoops off, and ready to go up to Diddy's studio and start some ruckus. Y'all, listen, you cannot make this up.
Okay, I've been thinking about this for a while now, but Jennifer Lopez and P. Diddy used to go out, and it's like all over the internet. But why is nobody talking about her in relation to him? I can't help but wonder if it's because we've been bombarded with information about her and Ben Affleck. Was the whole Benefit 2.0 a bit of a distraction because she knew this was coming? Am I being crazy? What do you think?
He didn't do any violence to Mrs. J-Lo. That's why I didn't see any violence. It's a different breed, bruh. He wasn't going to risk himself like that. And plus, a lot of people didn't like him. J-Lo mother didn't like him. Benny Medina didn't like him. You understand? So now, the first thing, if he would have ever touched Miss Lopez in any kind of aggressive way, she would have said something. Man, listen to me. The whole Bronx would have been on Puff.
They say the past always finds a way back. And for Jennifer Lopez, it might be knocking on a courtroom door. A resurfaced video from 1999 has suddenly become a central talking point in the federal case against Sean Diddy Combs. And in that same video, the woman standing beside him, gripping a purse that police say had a weapon inside, was none other than Jennifer Lopez. Now, over 2 decades later, what was once dismissed as a dramatic celebrity moment may become crucial evidence in a full-blown legal takedown. Prosecutors aren't just building a case around what Diddy allegedly did, they're looking at who might have helped him, knowingly or not. That's where Lopez's name keeps popping up. And while she stayed completely silent during the trial, online speculation is growing louder by the hour. Is she just collateral damage in a case that's exploded beyond control? Or was she more involved than she ever let on? According to reports, Jennifer Lopez's name has shown up on a provisional witness list, and if the court deems it relevant, she could be called to testify under oath. That means questions about the infamous nightclub shooting, her relationship with Diddy, and whether she had any idea what was happening behind the scenes could all be back in the spotlight. And with Cassie Ventura, Diddy's former partner, already delivering intense testimony about manipulation and pressure inside his inner circle, the timeline is being reopened in full. But Jennifer Lopez's story has always been tightly managed. She's one of the most polished brands in Hollywood.
He knew that she was an actress, she was a singer, songwriter, whatever like that, all her accolades. He did put her on a pedestal, but he still was seeing Kim, but he put her on a pedestal. People only do what you let them do. If he would have did that to her, he would only had one time.
She's never spoken publicly about that night beyond carefully crafted interviews. Now, with federal investigators digging deep into everything from witness lists to surveillance footage, the big question is, was Jennifer Lopez simply in the wrong place at the wrong time? Or is there more to the story than she's ever admitted? Because if the rumors are true, she's not just a pop star caught in the crossfire, she could be a witness. Or worse, a liability. And this is just the beginning. It all started on a cold December night in 1999. What should have been a glamorous evening out turned into chaos that ended with arrests, injuries, and a media frenzy. Jennifer Lopez and Sean Diddy Combs had arrived at Club New York in Manhattan, dressed to impress. But within hours, the evening took a turn that would follow them both for years. Gunfire erupted inside the club. 3 bystanders were hurt. Panic broke out. And when the police finally stopped the getaway vehicle, a black Lincoln Navigator, inside were Diddy, Jennifer Lopez, a bodyguard, and rapper Shine. Now, over 2 decades later, newly resurfaced footage from that night has reportedly reignited interest in what really happened, and who knew what. The clip, not publicly released but referenced in legal documents and online commentary, allegedly shows Lopez handing something to Diddy inside the club moments before the chaos.
You see, when he ran out the club and left her after that shooting at Shine, she ain't want to be with him no more. I don't think that she has a story where Puff was trying to be abusive or was abusive to her.
Later, she's seen tossing an item out the car window during the police chase. The question that investigators are reportedly asking now: was Jennifer Lopez unknowingly helping her partner at the time, or was she actively part of a cover-up? Back then, Jennifer Lopez was detained and questioned, but ultimately released without charges. Diddy went to trial, where he was acquitted on all counts, while Shine took the fall and served nearly a decade. At the time, Lopez's legal team framed her as an innocent bystander, someone caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. But in light of new allegations against Diddy, accusations that he ran a larger, darker operation for years, prosecutors are looking back at every key moment in his public timeline, and the 1999 shooting is front and center. If the footage holds up, it may be used to demonstrate not just one incident, but the start of a larger behavioral pattern prosecutors say is relevant to today's case. And Lopez's involvement, however brief, could be used to show that even back then, Diddy allegedly used people close to him to navigate risky situations. Whether Jennifer Lopez was complicit or simply compliant, the implications could be massive. What was once dismissed as tabloid drama is now a potentially crucial piece in a federal investigation. And it's raised one big question.
For all we know, that bullet came from the gun that was in her hand. And not once has she spoken up for the betterment of that woman. Not once has she donated to her family or for her medical bills that she's still paying, or say something in her defense to stop Puffy from gaslighting her.
If this footage proves what some insiders are claiming, could Jennifer Lopez really avoid testifying this time around? Because what happens next could flip the entire trial on its head. Before the trials, the headlines, and the speculation, Jennifer Lopez and Sean Diddy Combs were the it couple of the late 90s. Glamorous red carpet moments, music video cameos, high-profile dates, they were everywhere. But beneath the glitz and matching outfits was a relationship that, according to Lopez herself, ended in a way she'd later describe as with a bang. For years, people thought that was just a clever soundbite, a reference to media drama or the noise of their public breakup. But now, with the 1999 nightclub shooting back in the spotlight and investigators re-examining everything, some are wondering, was that bang literal? Their romance began in early 1999, as Lopez's acting career was taking off and Diddy was at the peak of his music empire. But it didn't take long before things got complicated. Rumors swirled about Diddy's constant partying, trust issues, and tension behind the scenes. When the nightclub shooting happened in December of that same year, Lopez was right in the middle of it, riding with him, questioned by police, and sitting in a holding cell for hours. After their release, Lopez kept a low profile. Diddy insisted everything would be fine, but a few months later, Lopez ended the relationship. In a 2003 Vibe interview, she said, "It wasn't a good relationship for me. I had to learn to care about myself more and put up certain boundaries." She didn't give many details, but the message was clear. Something had gone wrong.
For those who like to stupidly comment, well, why didn't she leave? She said she didn't have the resources and she didn't feel safe to do so. In her own words, "I understood Sean's capabilities, his access to guns, and the threats that he made prior to that."
And recently, a resurfaced clip from an old interview showed a reporter bluntly asking her, "Were you afraid of him?" Her pause and nervous laugh said more than any official statement. Now, with Diddy facing a major federal case and Lopez's name floating in the court chatter, those moments from years ago feel less like gossip and more like warning signs. Some legal analysts believe her decision to leave Diddy back then may have saved her from deeper involvement. Others think her silence ever since raises even more questions. And if prosecutors decide that her presence during that 1999 incident is relevant to a pattern of behavior, they may not give her the option to stay silent this time. Because leaving a relationship doesn't mean you left the story. Until now, Jennifer Lopez has kept her distance from everything surrounding the Diddy trial. No statements, no posts, no interviews. But in week 3 of courtroom proceedings, her name slipped into the narrative, and not just once. Reports began circulating that Lopez is listed on a provisional witness list, according to sources close to the legal teams. That doesn't mean she's guaranteed to testify, but it does mean prosecutors are considering her presence relevant enough to keep her on standby. If her knowledge of that 1999 incident or her relationship with Diddy can help paint the bigger picture of what investigators call a long-standing pattern of coercive control, she may be called in. And here's where things get more serious. Federal prosecutors, likely burned by what happened during Diddy's 2001 trial, are keeping their current witness list under strict lockdown.
And there will just be these moments where Sean Combs has his reading glasses on and he hasn't been staring. So I feel like as the trial has evolved, everything that Sean Combs has done has also evolved.
Back then, defense attorneys reportedly obtained the full list too early, leading to accusations of witness interference and memory fog from key sources. This time, the court isn't taking chances. Each week, new names take the stand without advance notice to Diddy's legal team, and if Lopez's name is still in the deck, she could be brought in without warning. The most talked about trigger? Alleged new footage showing Lopez and Diddy inside Club New York the night of the shooting. Though not publicly released, it's been referenced in legal commentary and online coverage, and according to those close to the investigation, it contradicts previous statements made by Lopez's team in 1999. One insider claimed, "She wasn't just there, she was involved." That may sound extreme, but in a case where establishing a pattern is everything, even Lopez's proximity to past events is now fair game. What's more, legal analysts point out that the timing couldn't be worse for Lopez's brand. Her canceled tour, rumored marital strain with Ben Affleck, and recent PR missteps have made headlines for weeks. Now, with the possibility of being called to the stand, the spotlight isn't just back on her, it's sharper than ever. And if the prosecution believes she saw something, knew something, or did something that supports the broader claims of misconduct, that silence she's maintained might not last much longer.
I don't know if it's because things have gotten a lot more serious day by day, or if maybe he's being coached on how to act and every day things are different and maybe every day is a specific vibe that he has to set.
Because once your name hits a federal transcript, there's no easy way to walk it back. To understand why Jennifer Lopez is back in the spotlight, we need to look beyond just that 1999 club incident. This isn't just about a single night gone wrong. It's about what that night may reveal about a larger system. Because the case against Sean Diddy Combs isn't just about relationships or music contracts, it's a full-blown RICO case. The RICO Act, short for the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, is designed to go after criminal operations disguised as legitimate businesses. Think of it like this. If someone runs a music label, a clothing line, and a few side companies, but uses them to carry out shady activities behind the scenes, RICO allows prosecutors to take down the entire network. And Diddy's empire, Bad Boy Records, Sean John, C-Rock, Revolt, is now under that microscope. Here's the twist. The government doesn't need to prove every allegation in detail. They only need to show a consistent pattern, coercion, manipulation, unlawful behavior, conducted through a business structure. And that's why the events of 1999 matter so much. If Lopez knowingly or unknowingly helped cover up a weapon, or if she handled it herself, that moment becomes evidence of a past cover-up tied to a pattern that still continues today. Legal experts say that one small act, like tossing an item out of a moving car, can become a brick in the wall of a RICO case, especially if it suggests a coordinated effort to shield the person at the center. And prosecutors now have more than just old footage. This trial has already revealed claims of bribery envelopes, coded communication, and even custom designer drugs allegedly used to manipulate victims. Testimony from Diddy's former assistant and others suggests a pattern of calculated moves, not random chaos. Add to that threats allegedly made against artists like Kid Cudi, and the web grows deeper. So where does Jennifer Lopez fit into all of this? Simple. That club night might have been the first documented moment where Diddy's alleged behavior crossed a line. And if Lopez had any role in it, willingly or not, it could strengthen the prosecution's entire framework. She may not be the target, but in a case this massive, even the smallest detail can carry weight. And if Lopez helped hide one weapon, what else might she have seen? While Jennifer Lopez has maintained complete silence, another woman who was once deeply involved in Diddy's world.
Is Diddy's defense getting to Cassie? How's her demeanor in court today?
To watch someone who is visibly pregnant sort of take deep breaths at times, she's keeping her cool. Honestly, she didn't cry or anything like that. Obviously, early on in the testimony, there were some things that had her in tears.
Has chosen the opposite path. Cassie Ventura, the singer and former partner who stunned the courtroom with her raw, emotional testimony. Cassie didn't just speak out. She opened the door to Diddy's private world. From what's been revealed so far, her years-long contract with Bad Boy Records wasn't just a music deal, it was a tether. Despite signing a 10-album agreement, only one was ever released. According to Cassie, this wasn't about music, it was about control. She described a life where everything, from where she could go to who she could speak to, was dictated by Diddy. And worse, she claimed she stayed quiet out of fear. Not just for herself, but for the safety of her family. That fear, she said, was based on knowing what Diddy was capable of, because she'd seen it before. What made Cassie's testimony hit even harder was how familiar some of the details sounded to longtime followers of Diddy's story. From being forced to stay physically close to him in public, to being told to follow specific instructions when entering clubs, some fans noticed eerie similarities between her story and Jennifer Lopez's past behavior during her time with Diddy. The difference? Cassie is speaking now, Jennifer Lopez isn't. And that's exactly what has people asking questions. Why has Lopez stayed quiet? Especially when the timeline of Cassie's experiences seems to echo some of her own? Why, even after the resurfaced 1999 footage and all the renewed attention, has she refused to comment, clarify, or even deny involvement? Some say it's self-preservation.
But he has his reading glasses on more frequently, and he will look back over his shoulder where the press are sitting, but not really at anyone anymore. It doesn't feel like he's actually making eye contact with many people. I feel like the first few days, his retinas were scanning.
Others believe it's because she knows more than she's let on. And then, there are those who wonder if Lopez's silence is part of a larger pattern, one where powerful people avoid difficult conversations to protect their brands. But the court doesn't care about celebrity image. If Jennifer Lopez is called to testify, she'll be asked the same questions Cassie faced. Only this time, it won't be about what Diddy did to her. It'll be about what she saw, what she knew, and what she did. And if her answers contradict the evidence the prosecution is building, that silence could end up doing more damage than any headline ever could. Jennifer Lopez may not be charged with anything right now, but that doesn't mean she's in the clear. In a case like this, silence doesn't equal safety, especially when her name is being mentioned in the same breath as witness manipulation, cover-ups, and criminal coordination. Here's what legal experts are saying. If prosecutors can prove that Lopez willingly helped dispose of evidence, like the firearm allegedly used in the 1999 shooting, or if she lied during past statements to law enforcement, she could face serious legal exposure, including obstruction charges. And if she testifies under oath and her version doesn't match new evidence, that opens the door to perjury. Now, to be clear, no formal charges have been filed against Jennifer Lopez. She's not on trial. But in a federal RICO case, anyone connected to potential cover-ups or manipulation, even if their actions happened decades ago, can be called to the stand or investigated further if their testimony fills in a missing piece. Behind the scenes, it's no surprise that Lopez's legal and PR teams are on high alert. According to industry insiders,
today she's been very calm, very measured, especially considering the audio clip that we heard of her threatening to kill someone. I looked over at the jury box because I was wanting to hear their reaction as we're hearing in real time her voice threatening several times to kill someone because she's concerned about this freak-off video, and the jurors were shocked.
Her advisors have reportedly been working overtime to control the narrative, scrubbing old interviews, tightening security around past statements, and preparing a potential statement or legal strategy in case the subpoena becomes real. At the same time, there's the public image battle. Jennifer Lopez is a global brand. From skincare lines to Netflix deals, her reputation is money. And so far, her decision to say nothing has drawn criticism from both fans and media commentators. Some say her silence is smart legal strategy. Others believe it's a sign of guilt, or at the very least, indifference. And while other celebrities are speaking out, donating, or distancing themselves from Diddy's crumbling empire, Lopez has remained completely off the radar. But the problem with that? It leaves space for speculation to take over. Because when someone with that much influence doesn't address the elephant in the room, especially when their name is floating around federal court filings, people start filling in the blanks themselves. The longer she stays silent, the more it looks like she's protecting something. Or someone. And in a courtroom ruled by evidence, patterns, and truth under oath, that silence could turn into a spotlight she can't outrun. While Jennifer Lopez has avoided the courtroom, for now, the damage is already leaking into her public life. And no matter how polished her team's image strategy might be, the cracks are starting to show. Let's start with the headlines that exploded even before her name resurfaced in the Diddy trial. Rumors of a breakup with Ben Affleck. Paparazzi shots of Affleck looking tense. Real estate buzz suggesting they're living apart. And whispers of a quiet divorce in progress have kept Bennifer trending for all the wrong reasons. Fans who once rooted for the fairy tale reunion now wonder, was it all just a fragile brand reboot? Then came the bombshell. Lopez canceled her entire US tour, citing the need to be with her children and close family. On paper, that sounds respectable, but industry insiders say ticket sales were sluggish, PR tension was rising, and the timing, right as her name re-entered the Diddy narrative, raised eyebrows across Hollywood. Was the tour canceled because of family priorities, or because she knew the media storm was coming? At the same time, brand Jennifer Lopez is under pressure. From fragrance lines to streaming deals, her image is built on control, class, and confidence. But with the internet buzzing about her past with Diddy and the possibility of a courtroom appearance, that carefully curated persona is now colliding with unfiltered reality. Social media hasn't been kind. The hashtag number JLOTestify has picked up traction.
Today, she was finally able to wrap things up. Cassie's testimony officially ended at 3:20 p.m. today, and that might not seem like such a big deal, but trust me when I say it was.
With memes, throwback footage, and side-by-side comparisons of her and Cassie flooding timelines. Even her 1999 mugshot has gone viral again, used not as a joke, but as a symbol of what some call her calculated silence. And that's the danger. In today's world, silence isn't seen as neutral, it's seen as suspicious. Especially when it involves someone once so close to a figure now under intense federal investigation. For Lopez, the stakes are high. If she speaks up, it might protect her legacy, or crack it open. If she continues to stay quiet, she may preserve her legal position, but at the cost of public trust, fan loyalty, and commercial viability. In a world where perception is everything, the courtroom may not be the only place where Jennifer Lopez is on trial. Because sometimes, the verdict comes from the audience watching at home. So, where does this all go from here? Diddy's trial is expected to stretch across several more weeks, with prosecutors continuing to present what they claim is a pattern of manipulation, secrecy, and control hidden behind a media empire. And with each day, new names surface, old stories resurface, and the web keeps growing. As for Jennifer Lopez, nothing is confirmed yet. She hasn't been formally subpoenaed. She hasn't responded to the rumors. But legal experts agree. If the footage is deemed relevant, and if her testimony could help illustrate a pattern in Diddy's behavior, she may be called in. Whether as a cooperative witness or under pressure, the possibility is real. And while she may be trying to stay out of the headlines, the public isn't letting her go that easy. Her silence isn't just raising eyebrows, it's raising questions. Did she know more than she shared in 1999? Was she just following someone else's lead? Or was she part of a moment that now sits at the center of a legal storm? What started as a long-forgotten night at a New York nightclub has become something far bigger. It's no longer about gossip or old flame drama. This is about power, protection, and the price of silence. Because if the court decides that Jennifer Lopez can help tell the full story, she may have no choice but to raise her right hand and speak. Let us know what you think. Is Jennifer Lopez staying silent to protect herself? Or is there something more behind that silence? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like if this shocked you, and subscribe with the bell on. Because as this trial unfolds, it's only getting deeper from here.